Brisbane coach, Brian Curl.
Brian, last week in the first grand final, 4 points up in extra time, and you blew it. Can you come back tonight?
I'm sure we're just a little bit undisciplined there in that final few minutes. That we've corrected now and sorted that all out. So yeah, we can come back.
And the big guys probably didn't do the job that you wanted them to last week. Have you worked out a game plan for tonight?
Yes, we have. Yeah.
Is Cal Bruton starting?
No, he's not.
So Cal Bruton came off the bench and did very well. You're being very close-lipped. Can you give us any indications of what's going to happen?
Oh, well, Cal's done a great job for us coming off the bench this in the last few weeks, and we're sticking with that.
Close-lipped Brian Curl, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Adelaide 36ers coach, Ken Cole.
Ken, it's been a great year, but it really doesn't matter. Tonight's the big one.
Well, tonight's the culmination of what's been a superb year, so we just need to nail down one more.
Even though you won in Brisbane last week, did you learn anything from that game?
Yeah, I learned that we can beat them 3 times in a row, and hopefully this will make it 4. We didn't see anything that surprised us, and I think if we just stay with our game plan, we'll be fine.
You went with a successful lineup. Will you go with the same lineup?
Most probably stay the same and just rotate people in and out as freely as we can.
From everyone in South Australia, good luck.
Thanks very much, Andrew.
Bullets team, and the end result, I hope, will be different as well. OK, the game's about to start. Your commentator is Lynn Parnell.
So in the jump, we see Mark Davis, number 33 for the West End 36ers in the white uniform. Larry Senstock, an Australian great, played a lot of games for Australia, as referee Ray Hunt throws up the ball for the tip. And it's the 36ers who come away with the ball, and it's the mean machine, Al Green, number 15, as the 36ers run into offence. Peter Aioli. Al Green inside again. There's a turnover as the Rat comes away with the ball. And Ronnie the Rat runs a fast break. The Bullets are really looking to go to that basket. And Larry Senstock scores first blood. So it's 2 points, and the Brisbanes are extending the defence, Andrew.
Yeah, Brisbane really have nothing to lose tonight. They have to go for broke, because if they lose this game, the season is over. As BJ, Bill Jones, makes it. So that's the fair score. To the West End 36ers, the score is 2-all. Gary, the atmosphere at Burndall last week was electric, but it's not bad here either.
It's great here, despite the fact that the crowd isn't as large. The fact that the stadium is chock-a-block adds to the atmosphere. And what a wonderful atmosphere here tonight. And I'm sure that the crowd here is going to see an absolutely wonderful game of basketball.
I'm sure you're right there, as Dave Nelson scores an easy basket through the Bullets.
And Dave Nelson came off the bench last week, did extremely well, Andrew. I expect him to have a very significant influence on this game, as inside, and that's what the 36ers have to do, as Mark Davis makes the basket and will get the charity foul.
Well, that's going to be the problem for Brisbane all night. They've got to hold the tough guys from the West End 36ers. Look at the body work there from Mark Davis. The hands go up from Nelson. He gets in the way. Davis over the top, scored and takes a bonus shot.
That's the strength of the 36ers, Andrew. They've got to throw the ball inside. There's not a great deal of talent for the Brisbane Bullets inside. Larry Senstock, of course, is a champion, but his compatriots in the front court lack his ability. And Mark Davis and Bill Jones are outstanding athletes, and I can't see the Bullets holding those 2 men all night.
Gary, once again, it looks like Peter Alli's got the job of guarding Leroy Loggins, and did a fine job in the first half last week, and then Leroy really came alive.
Well, let's see what happens here. There's the first foul called, and
there's the ball. Up goes the hand. Well, the referee was closer than we were. He's called the hands foul. Peter Aioli thought he was on the ball. Loggins said, yes, it was definitely a foul. It was before the shot, so the ball's inbounded from outside, but Loggins goes all the way. And Eddie Crouch calls another foul.
And this time Leroy will go to the line and shoot too. Let's see what Leroy Loggins does.
Just listen to the noise from this capacity house here at Apollo. You could not get one more person in here. The game's been a sellout a half an hour after tickets went on sale. Leroy Loggins makes 2 from the foul line. Radliff up on Green. Al Green will bring the ball down for the 36ers. Leroy Loggins gets his hand to the ball. Can't quite complete the steal. Pearce going to go for a long shot. Loggins again gets his hand to the ball. And Brisbane really hustling early on, Lynn.
That's going to put a little bit of pressure on the Iceman, Daryl Pearce. Al Green being hotly pressed there by the Radliff. And I think the Bullets have really come out fired up. They're looking very good in defence.
Yes, well, the Bullets know that they've got to put the pressure on and put it on early. And they've got to look good. And they're doing that. I think they're getting their hands to the ball. They're not making it easy for the 36ers. And I think that the thousands of fans here at the Apollo Stadium could see an end result that they're not really expecting.
There's certainly been a great opening. A fierce opening by both sides as Al Green. Will he go all the way to the basket? Goes for the hook shot. And who will be the foul called on?
That's a bad call, Andrew. That is a bad call. Look at Green, drives all the way down to the basket. And number 25, Chris Mcgaw, comes across. Up goes the man. And Mcgaw was moving to the side as Green went all the way to the bucket.
So early on, the 36ers in a bit of foul trouble. Peter Alli has 2, Al Green 1. Alli, as we said, got fouled off early in the game last week. The Sengstock and Davis. And here comes the fast break. Will Green go all the way against Ronnie the Rat? Double spin, lovely pass to Peter Alli. What a play! Fantastic play from the 36ers. Oh, that was superb work. Look at this pass from Al Green. Comes in, spins once, twice, sees Alli on the other side. And Peter Alli makes the easiest of baskets and has the foul called on him. And Peter Alli will go to the foul line. Not bad stuff, Gary.
Great basketball from the 36ers, and that's the kind of game that we expect them to play. And Brian Curl has made provision for that. I think you're seeing a different Brisbane Bullets team tonight, though. And already the pressure is on the 36ers. The Bullets have everything to lose by losing this game. They need to win to stay with the action.
So the 36ers in a good man-to-man defence, keeping the Bullets outside. Radcliffe goes all the way. There's a handoff to Mcgaw, who leans in, throws up a bad shot under pressure. Good defence from Bill Jones, and Jones pulls down a rebound. And all season, Andrew, Bill Jones, the captain of the 36ers, has led by example.
Oh, led like a captain should as Davis goes for the drive. Tap-in attempted. The rebound will come out to Alli. Bill Jones has been a tremendous player. And look at the work again from Mark Davis. No foul call in the basket. Counts. 2 points to Mark Davis, but he's hurt himself. He's hurt himself badly. You see the strong work again from Davis. He goes up. You'll notice he comes down now and right on the elbow. He's still on the ground, and Mark Davis is in trouble. He's grabbing that left arm.
Well, I think Chris Mcgaw was in good position then.
Well, the score at the moment is 9-6 in favour of the West End 36ers. We'll be back straight after the break. Stadium, the news from here during the break as Leroy Loggins scores again. That's 4 points to Brisbane while we were in the break. Adelaide has scored 2. The score, the West End 36ers 11. Lead Brisbane on 10. Lynn Parnell.
There's Chris Mcgaw inside trying to rough up the players. He's doing quite a good job. He's switching off on the defence, looking for the drives. They're overplaying Daryl Pearce very much on his right-hand side. Pearce has taken one drive. Chris Mcgaw fell over again. There was no foul called. Pearce did pick up another charging foul. And Chris Mcgaw, as I speak, has picked up a foul. So there's the heavy work done here by Mcgaw. And there goes the push as he goes up for the rebound. Davis has that pushed out of play. So it'll be a West End 36ers ball from the side. And Gary, Brisbane really are roughing it up a bit.
Yeah, and they've made 3 substitutions. Robert Sibley is in, Cal Bruton is in, and John Dortch is in. So pressure from the Brisbane Bullets early on. They can't afford to allow the 36ers to shoot from outside like that, and it's Cal Bruton that has the ball at the moment, and the magic of Cal Bruton making itself felt immediately in the game.
The 36ers are letting Brisbane off the hook at the moment because Daryl Pearce hasn't been hitting his shots. Now we have an interesting foul call here. I'm not sure who it's called on as Leroy Loggins drove to the basket. It's been called on Al Green. The Bullets will take it from the sideline. No, the refs can't make up their mind.
Len, are you surprised that the 36ers aren't shooting outside as well as they have done in earlier games throughout the season?
Yeah, it's very good defence, though, by the Bullets. They're overplaying Pearce dramatically on his right-hand side. You'll notice when you come down the floor again that there's a very big gap, a drive to the basket for Pearce on his left hand if he wants it. He's not taking it. They're looking to throw it over, but they're also looking to use the big guys inside, Davis and Jones, and that has been the strength. The 36ers aren't taking the shots from outside, but we're not converting from inside either.
Here's John Dortch for the Brisbane Bullets.
And another foul call, this time on Robert Sibley.
Yeah, and it was a silly foul.
Yeah, it was a fairly silly foul. A straightforward rebound was taken by Daryl Pearce, and Sibley just creamed him from behind. And so now Brisbane getting into a little bit of foul trouble, but not too much. We see Mcgaw on 2 fouls, Nelson and Sibley on 1 each, as Pearce again misses. Ray Wood attacking. What a tap-in for the smallest man on the court.
What a magnificent effort from Raymond Wood. Last week, 201 games tonight. The most experienced man in the NBL has come onto the floor, wasn't blocked out, ran in and tipped the ball in. As Larry Senstock under a lot of pressure there, as Calvin Bruton shoots from outside. It's a 3-pointer. So the score is 13 points all with 6 minutes remaining in this first quarter.
What a wonderful game of basketball we've got here. Fantastic holding foul on John Dortch. Of the population of Adelaide that's not crammed into the Apollo Stadium tonight, watching the action live. And John Dortch with a very easy rebound. Nobody moved.
So once again, it's Brisbane in attack. The Black Pearl, Cal Bruton with the ball, guarded by Ray Wood. No one in the NBL has played more games than Ray Wood. Mind you, Cal Bruton on his own, a great player. Should be a foul on George, should be 2 fouls, neither called.
What a superb rebound, but what a beautiful player Calvin Bruton is. He's just a complete basketball player, great shooter, and good defense by Raymond Wood. And I'm looking for a magnificent contest between these two players, as a travel is being called by referee Eddie Crouch.
It's a very quick call there. You'll see the rebound hits the ring. Bill Jones grabs it, slips there, had the bounce, couldn't be a travel. Bad call by the ref, but then it's a hell of a game to have to umpire in. Unbelievable pressure out there. Bruton misses the shot, and again Daryl Pearce pulls off a rebound. This game at a frightening pace, Gary.
It's frenetic, and the Bullets are putting the pressure on inside, but what's happening? The Adelaide 36ers are scoring from the outside. Certainly great action. Scoreline reads Adelaide 36ers 16, Brisbane Bullets 13.
And that's what Brisbane don't want to see, is Daryl Pearce get his eye in, because he's the hottest 3-point shooter in the country. But the action with Brisbane, Larry Sengstock, the captain, and a lovely shot from Sengstock.
And the 36ers dominating the rebounding duels to date. 36ers have pulled down 9 rebounds to the Brisbane Bullets 3, as Raymond Wood sets the offensive movement up for the 36ers. Interesting contest. Al Green is now guarding Leroy Loggins as Daryl Pearce fires up a 3-pointer. Almost pulled in by Mark Davis, but it's Calvin Bruton, and he's hotly guarded there by Raymond Wood.
And the crowd goes berserk as Leroy Loggins bounced the ball with a foot in either half of the court. Referees chose to ignore it. So Brisbane scores 1 point apiece. Brisbane 17, lead the West End 36ers on 16.
And the Bullets are shooting 50% from the floor, the 36ers 44%. As this Brisbane defence is working overtime. I think the Brisbane defence is doing an excellent job, Andrew.
Yes, I think they've done a superb job so far. As Davis, again, he's pushed all the way by Sibley. Pearce gets in, gets a pass to Green. The defence working overtime for Brisbane. Sengstock there, left all on his own to take an easy rebound. And Cal Bruton, the playmaker for Brisbane, will be left to set it all up again. So far, Gary, we haven't seen a whole lot from Leroy Loggins.
Not as yet, but remember in the second half of last week's game, he was just absolutely dynamite. Remember also in last year's grand final...
Stop, their captain has taken a break. Ronnie the Rat Radley is back on as the first of the foul shots missed by Robert Sibley.
Unbelievable that players in this league should miss free throws.
Yes, but mind you, there is 3,500 people here, and he's missed 2, but an easy rebound by Dortch. Foul called on John Dortch. He doesn't like it. The crowd loves it.
That's 2 fouls on Dortch. And Calvin Bruton pulls Dortch away and says, don't argue with the referee. As the shot goes up, there's Dortch, a hand in the back. And Dortch with the rebound. The basket goes through the hoop, but the referee says no score. They're in bonus situation, so Bill Jones has the opportunity from the foul line. Missed on the last occasion. He has the opportunity to score for the 36ers.
There's the shot. It drops. Scoreline reads 17 apiece.
Still 3.5 minutes to go in the first quarter, and what an exciting quarter of basketball it's been as Bill Jones misses the second. Blocked out by the rebound by Sibley, and it's taken by Dortch. Now it's Ronnie Radley with the ball, guarded by Daryl Pearce every which way. A brilliant shooter, Ronnie Radley, as he showed at Boondall last week. Now Robert Sibley, Dortch calling for it. He certainly wouldn't shoot from that far, but this man would, Cal Bruton, and does it beautifully. An amazing player, Cal Bruton. in the Australian side now, been a naturalised Australian for quite some time.
And an interesting battle there. Al Green is playing Leroy Loggins in front. Al Green doing a really good job on defence. Loggins is not getting the ball as Bill Jones puts up the shot. And the Bullets are blocking out their men now. And suddenly we see the Bullets start to dominate the defensive rebounds as Loggins goes all the way, and the foul is called.
And all of a sudden he's off again, and Bill's moving with him, but Leroy takes that little feint, across come the hands, slap onto Loggins. Loggins is on the foul line, and the foul is on Bill Jones, the captain of the home side.
Well, Cal Pruden is on earlier in the game tonight than last week, and already he's had a great bearing on the game. The first bucket drops from Leroy. Bullets lead 21-17. There's 2 minutes and 47 seconds left in the first quarter. What a game of basketball.
Been a tremendous game so far. Fantastic pressure as Brisbane again push up that defence. Adelaide is about to make a substitution. Dwayne Nelson will be coming on. But it's Al Green about to lose the ball, does lose the ball. Violation on Radley, not called. So perhaps he didn't get his foot on that ball. Lovely pass into Loggins. Tapped away by Bill Jones, but the basket counts. Jones hates the call, but the referee was right there to make the call. The ball, if you follow this ball now, the pass comes in from Radley, a perfect pass. Now Jones is just running in. What Bill Jones does is he taps the ball as it's on its way down. I wonder whether it was on its way down. I'm not so sure. The referee ruled it was, and that means that counts. 2 points to Brisbane.
What wonderful pressure underneath from the Brisbane Bullets. They know that if they don't put the pressure on the 36ers big guys, reject John Dortch. And it's 3-on-1. Bullets should score. Easy bucket. Ron Radley. 26 plays 17 in the last couple of minutes. The Bullets have gone away with it, and they're doing the job on the Adelaide 36ers. The question is, Lynn, can they continue to do so?
Certainly this defence is fantastic. I've got to say the Bullets are really fired up. Their defence doing a great job. There's a foul's been called there on Robert Sibley.
No, on Mark Davis.
I can't believe that call.
Well, I thought it was 50% of one and half of the other. They were just doing a bit of normal pushing and shoving under the keys to 17 in a fierce opening.
And what is impressive about this at the moment is that Larry Sandstock and Dave Nelson are on the bench.
Coach Ken Cole at that stage was pointing out that they're shooting a very bad percentage from outside. The 36ers only shooting 33%. The Bullets are shooting 64% from the floor. And Coach Ken Cole saying, throw the ball inside to the big guys, Mark Davis, and they'll be able to get a good percentage shot because the big guys from Brisbane shouldn't be able to stay with it.
What a hook shot from Leroy Loggins. He put the first shot up and had that taken away. He got his own rebound of sorts and then put out a remarkable jumper.
That's 10 points to Leroy Loggins.
The ball with the West End 36ers. It'll be Daryl Pearce makes it. Good shot, but only a two-pointer. The crowd believe it's 3, but the umpire signaled 2. To wait on the scoreboard. The score is 28-20. Ronnie Radley with the ball, guarded by Daryl Pearce. Leroy comes out, says, where's the foul, ref? The crowd tell him to get on with the game. He gives it back to Dortch. Now Radcliffe. He's got Pearce. Puts up the shot, misses. And the 36ers sit there and wait while Leroy just picks it off. Ronnie Radcliffe limping.
Pressure stuff. Great pass to John Dortch, who didn't see it coming. Radcliffe from outside the three-point line. Mark that down, 3 points. Scoreline, 31 to the Bullets, 20 to the Adelaide 36ers. 34 seconds left in the first quarter.
So defence has been extended all the way down the floor by the Bullets. Less than 30 seconds remaining as Al Green brings the ball down the floor for the 36ers as Daryl Pearce overplayed on his right-hand side again. He still takes that right-hand side drive, forces the ball inside to Jones, underneath, but 3 seconds has been called. I can't understand why Daryl Pearce doesn't use his left hand and go towards the bucket when he's being overplayed so far on the right-hand side.
12 seconds left in the first quarter. The Bullets lead the Adelaide 36ers 31-20.
So the Bullets will look for one more shot before quarter time. It'll come from Cal Bruton. Looks good, misses, hits the rim. Tap-in attempted by Sibley, but the rebound to Mark Davis. It's quarter time, and what an amazing quarter by the Brisbane Bullets. For the start of the second quarter, neither side has scored. The shot is put up by Larry Sengstock. And the Brisbane Bullets, after a brilliant opening lead, 31-20. Your commentator, Lynn Parnell.
And Dwayne Nelson has come onto the floor for the 36ers. Certainly the Sixers have been unsettled by this magnificent Brisbane defence. The 36ers overpowered, actually, by the Brisbane defence. They've done it well. But Al Green He makes a very good basket, the first score of this second quarter, and he makes his first 2 points. And it's not very often that we see one quarter of basketball where our green doesn't score, although he was contained very well last week in Brisbane, Andrew.
Yes, he certainly was. And Gary, I believe, Larry Sexton makes a lovely shot. I believe Ken Cole has brought in Dwayne Nelson just to give the 36ers a bit more muscle inside, because they're getting pushed around by the Bullets' big guys.
Well, I think Ken Cole would have been surprised that this has happened, and he won't be happy about having to do it. But I think, as you say, Andrew, he's done it, and it's probably a good move.
That's a three-pointer from Daryl Pearce, and wasn't it a beauty? A beautiful screen set by Mark Davis, who ran Radley straight into it, got nicely balanced and put it away for three.
And the Iceman has made three three-point shots for his 9 points.
And I suppose, did get into the back of Bruton as the pass comes across to Leroy. So the foul called on Davis. Travel called on Leroy Loggins. The crowd love it. You wouldn't see that too often, Gary.
Sorry?
You wouldn't see a foul travel called on Leroy too often.
And not one that the refs call.
Back with the 36ers. Dwayne Nelson on the foul line. Has room.
He travelled as well. No, 3-second call as well.
So
it's amazing the number of times in a game of basketball that the travel call is missed by the referees.
Yes, I think they're so keen on watching the ball. They don't watch the feet too often, but we've seen two tonight. I don't think we saw one in Brisbane last week.
Interesting stats for the quarter-time break as Loggins throws up a basket and a good rebound by Davis. 36ers are shooting 36% from the floor. The Bullets 59% from the floor, so that's a big margin in favour of the Bullets. Rebounds, that's 10-7 in favour of the 36ers.
3-25, the ball with Mark Davis.
And 36ers certainly not looking very confident with their ball handling in the front court. I think that everybody's sort of sitting back waiting for something to happen as our green forces up a shot, probably a shot that shouldn't have been taken. And Mark Davis mixes a sitter. Now, he wouldn't miss one of those in a million years, but we saw, as we see another turnover, Larry Senstock did the same thing last week. So there's a lot of pressure basketball out there as Daryl Pearce hits his fourth three-pointer, take him along to 12 points. The 36ers along to 28, and they're now trailing by only 5 points, 33 to the Brisbane Bullets, and they've got the ball in the front court.
And Gary Pearce has dragged the home side back into this game early in the second quarter.
Well, the Bullets led by 11 at the quarter-time mark, and as you just said, it's now down to 5 points, and all of a sudden the 36ers are back into the game, and it's through that man, Daryl Pearce.
And you cannot hear yourself think here, as Brian Curl has done the obvious. He had to do something to stop this West End 36ers onslaught. He's called a timeout, and we need a break here, and we'll be back right after. For 10's exclusive coverage of the Wang Second National Basketball League Grand Final between the West End 36ers and the Brisbane Bullets. Well, Brian Curl's timeout worked wonders for the Bullets. They made a substitution. Dave Nelson came back onto the court, and he has scored the only basket so far. Now we see Cal Bruton on the foul line. Brisbane stripped away again to a 5-point lead. They lead 35-30.
And Bruton normally shoots 81% from the foul line, makes no mistake. And the Bullets defence is pressuring right up the court. It's a full court defence. And the two guards for the 36ers, Daryl Pearce and Al Green, don't like the pressure. There was a turnover a few minutes ago that gave the Bullets the opportunity. So the 36ers got back to 3 points. It's blown out to 7 again as the 36ers run down the floor into offence.
Well, Gary, I said after last week's game, I honestly didn't believe that the 36ers, or rather the Bullets, could play any better, but I think they are playing better tonight so far, what we've seen in this first half.
Absolutely right. I think, too, that the 36ers are playing better outside, so that balances that out, and we've got another great game of basketball. Scoreline 37 to the Bullets, 33 to the 36ers.
Yeah, just on that, play a bit more honest defence.
Amazing atmosphere at the Apollo Stadium. Leroy Loggins misses with the shot. The rebound picked off by Bill Jones. But it's now with Daryl Pearce, the man who has been in great touch. What a pass to Davis. 2 points. Mark it down to Daryl Pearce, even though Mark Davis put it in the basket. That's the best pass of the night.
And that's 2 points to Daryl Pearce, really. Look at that. Beautiful pass. Davis does well. Takes the dribble to get balance. Up. Nice little basket off the glass. And that takes Mark Davis along to 7 points. But it's the Bullets with Calvin Bruton. He fires up one from outside and it's good. So once again, there's a 4-point leeway in favour of the Bullets, but certainly in this last few minutes, the 36ers are starting to look a lot better in their offensive movement.
Gary, Brian Curl would have to be happy with Brisbane so far as Pearce misses that one. Tap-in attempt missed by Davis. Grabbed by Al Green.
Well, the Adelaide 36ers in the last couple of minutes have come back, and they've come back super strong. And there's a foul called on Leroy Loggins.
Now, Gary, from a Brisbaneite, I reckon that was the 4th foul that they eventually called.
Let's look at it.
Look at the hands there from Bruton, and finally Leroy comes in. Your honest opinion, Gary?
I don't think my microphone is switched on, Andrew.
But those hands fouls must happen underneath the basket, Gary. It happens at both ends of the floor. It was a good rebound there by Dewine Nelson. He threw the basket up. Back came the man on the foul line now in Mark Davis. And when the people are going for the basket like that, the defence is so enthusiastic. They're trying to get a hand on the ball, and those hands fouls will happen.
Davis drops the second one. The scores are 39-36, Brisbane leading. It's Cal Bruton versus Ray Wood. Bruton with the ball. The Black Pearl, first year in the Australian team this year, dribbling all around, gets right in, pops it up and makes it. Good play from Cal Bruton for a man so short in this game that is dominated by big men. He really does have amazing ball skills.
Great offensive movement there for Calvin Bruton, because Raymond Wood, the man on defence, did everything right. There's a pass underneath if he wants it. And Mark Davis goes down for the second time. 2 strong points there to Mark Davis.
Listen, the Bullets are getting under Davis as he gets up in the air, because he really does get up. And then once he's up there, he really has nowhere to come out under if his back is put out. Pearce almost the steal, but it comes back to Brisbane. Leroy Loggins, pass to Danny Morsou. Good basket, no. Tough rebound, Bill Jones. Now the 36 in again. This crowd here, absolutely loving it.
Well, I wonder about Danny Morsou. I think in last week's game, Danny Morsou put up a couple of shots that perhaps he shouldn't have. That may have cost the Bullets the game. And he'll need to lift his game so high tonight to help the Bullets.
Basket made by Dwayne Nelson, his first score for the night.
And Danny Morsou has been a great player in the past, Gary. In fact, he's been a superb player for Australia. He's looking a little bit overweight now, and perhaps the game might have passed him by a little bit. He's certainly not the dominant force in basketball that he used to be, but certainly he's a very valuable player in this Bullets team.
Brisbane keeping that 3-point lead. It's 43-40. The foul is called on Danny Morsou, and the rest of you can lip read his answer. You'll see here, Ray Wood has the ball, and he's just looking to set. Bang, there goes Morsou into the back of Pearce. Foul called.
I think Danny's a little frustrated.
Yeah, I think that's the sort of thing that happens when you lose that half a yard, Gary.
Foul called on Cal Bruton. And an obvious foul. Ray Wood just tried to break away from him. And that man there, number 5, the man they call the Black Pearl, and he's about to get another one if he's not careful.
Yeah, good movement there by Raymond Wood. He just walked Calvin into that screen, stepped out nicely to see the pass. Good work without the ball.
Tough stuff under the basket. It's Pearce. Lovely drive, misses. Rebound by Morsou. 3-on-1, Brisbane should score. Long shot by Cal. Makes amends. Never ever should have taken the long shot, even though he is an excellent 3-point shooter. He had Loggins underneath the basket, chose to go it alone.
And Bruton certainly picked up this quarter by the scruff of his neck. He scored 16 points, 11 of which has come from this quarter. And another beautiful handoff by Daryl Pearce, another assist, and Bill Jones slam dunks. And that hurts a team on defense. Just have a look at this lovely pass. Throws the feint underneath, and Jones slam-o. And don't the crowd love it?
John Dortch looking for Loggins. He'll drive all the way, pops it up, makes it no. Hit out of the hands of Sengstock, but it's Loggins again. He's everywhere and makes that basket. But still, Leroy hasn't done what he did in the second half last week.
That's not 12 points to Leroy Loggins.
No, it's not the second half. And this capacity crowd barracking for Adelaide predominantly don't want to see what he did in the second half last week. Pearce going for 3, makes it. No, only 2.
And isn't it amazing, the turnover in the 36ers offense when Daryl Pearce starts to use his left hand. All of a sudden, the Bullets' defense isn't as threatening as it was. Pearce going to his left opens it up as Cal Bruton hits a lovely 3-point shot from outside. That takes the Bullets along to 50. The 36ers are on 45, and that's 18 points to Cal Bruton individually.
And Bruton has had a super game. Look at that pass for Pearce. Foul on Dortch. He doesn't like it, but he really did get in the way. Daryl Pearce attempted 11 shots from the same spot and only made one, and that happened to be the first one. So is he on fire tonight, Gary? He's played superbly.
Well, he's been the difference for the Adelaide 36ers tonight, and the difference as far as the Bullets are concerned has been the inside defence work on the big guys.
And Cal Bruton, who's done an amazing job offensively.
So from the floor, Brisbane are shooting, from the foul line, Brisbane are shooting 75%. 36ers are only shooting 42%. There's a 2-on-1 fast break. And the Bullets lucky to come away with the ball as Calvin Bruton. He'll pull it out and set up the Bullets' offensive movement.
3 minutes and 3 seconds to go to half-time. It's Larry Sengstock inside to Leroy. Should score, misses. Dortch attempts to tap in. Off the head of Bill Jones comes to Daryl Pearce. That was a gimme basket to Brisbane. They missed a lot of them last week, and they may yet live to rue that one. Another beautiful screen set by Davis. Gets it back in the 1-1 and scores. Good play again. Daryl Pearce is setting up everything for the West End 36ers.
Yeah, there was a big mismatch there. Robert Sibley forced to go with Daryl Pearce, and Pearce saw Mark Davis roll off, and Pearce, certainly the playmaker, starting to use his left hand a little bit, looking at what his defensive player's doing, hitting a good percentage from outside and making some lovely assists. Good blocking out as Jones takes control on the boards. So the Sixers 2 points down. There's an outside shot from Daryl Pearce is good. So for the first time, the 36ers hit the front. It's 51 points to the 36ers, leading the Brisbane Bullets 50.
And a timeout has been called by Brian Curl again because he had to do something. All of a sudden, Brisbane starting to look in trouble. Stadium, and it's been basket for basket. The West End 36ers, 53. Lead the Brisbane Bullets on 52. The foul called on Dwayne Nelson. And Gary, have you seen a better half of basketball before?
Well, I thought that the second half of last week's game was perhaps the best half of basketball I've ever seen, but I've now had to review that, and I think that tonight's first half has been absolutely spectacular. There's a minute 28 left. There's only a point in it. Amazing basketball.
Lynn, who do you on top now? They shoot a disastrous 36% in the first half. In the first quarter. The second quarter, they've come back with 84%. The Bullets were 59% in the first quarter. They're now shooting 47 from the floor. So the Sixers have got their confidence. That overpowering advantage that the Bullets had with their great defence has now been lost. And the 36ers seem to have control of this game now, in my opinion.
Davis puts up the shot. Is it good? No, it's not. The ball comes off Sengstock's head. Ray Wood fights for it. Ref rates in finals because they are finals, and it's pressure all the way. The 36ers in this quarter have really made up for what we could only call was a fairly average first quarter. But it's Dave Nelson back with the action, gives it off to Sengstock. Jones doesn't want to foul him. 3 seconds the crowd calls. Jones makes up, takes the rebound.
And the man with the ball is the one that's turned around the game for the 36ers in this quarter. He's hit some magnificent baskets from outside, and he's also been able to feed off. And that's the reason, because he's now going to his left, and the Bullets haven't been used to seeing Pearce go to his left.
And Pearce unlucky there. It was 3 quarters in and then popped out. That quite often happens with these sort of basketball rings. Back with the Brisbane side now. 23 seconds to go to half-time. They'll be looking for just one more shot. It's Dave Nelson, the man who was sacked from Canberra, the assistant coach of the Bullets, with the ball, looking for the drive. He's a top 3-point shooter, but gives it to Sengstock. Puts it up. Yes, it drops for Brisbane. It gives them the lead by 1 point. 4 seconds. The crowd counts it out. Davis pops up the shot off the ring. No basket. It's half-time here at the Apollo Stadium. The West End 36ers on 53, and they are 1 point in front of the Brisbane Bullets on 52. It's half-time. We'll be back after the break. Series 1-0, your commentator Lynn Parnell.
And for the first time we see Michael Mccoy, number 10 for the 36ers, on the floor, Rookie of the Year in 1985, and an explosive player. And I suspect that he'll probably match up against Leroy Loggins as Daryl Pearce goes to his left again and hits another basket. So that's 55 to the 36ers, 54 to the Brisbane Bullets.
So the West End 36ers back in front. But what can Brisbane do in this offense? They get the ball across to Dave Nelson, a good shooter, but hands off to Radley. He's guarded by Pearce. Radley been relatively quiet. A steal by Mike Mccoy. Foul called by referee Ray Hunt. Mike Mccoy hates the call.
Bruton ran in between that put Michael Mccoy to disadvantage. Out went the arm. The referee called the foul. But as you made the comment from Boondale last week, Gary, Michael Mccoy is like pepper and salt. He's in everything. He comes on the floor. He's not frightened to take a shot. There he is again, contesting that rebound. Picks up a foul. A very enthusiastic player.
Well, Larry Senstock missed another easy basket underneath the bucket then. How many times have the Brisbane Bullets, and not only tonight's game, but he travelled, not only tonight's game, but also last week's game, missed those easy points underneath the basket. They can't afford to do that.
Almost a mismatch there under the basket. Nelson was only guarded by Pearce, but now Bill Jones makes the steal. The pass wasn't good into Senstock, and the 36ers, can they turn it on for this furiously vocal crowd here at the Apollo Stadium? It's Mike Mccoy, his first shot of the match. It's no good, though. In fact, not a good shot at all. Doesn't even hit the ring. Ronnie Radley has Bruton on the other side, but he's going to go all the way, try and draw the foul. It's called.
All of a sudden, they're going to find themselves in foul trouble.
And immediately, Ken Cole makes the substitution. Al Green is off the court. Raymond Wood, number 9, back on the boards. So the 36ers lineup is Davis, Jones, Mccoy, Pearce and Wood. For Brisbane, it's Senstock, Nelson, Loggins, Radliff and Bruton. And you wouldn't get two finer sides anywhere matched up in the country.
Speaking of matchups, Michael Mccoy has Radliff guarding him. Mccoy has the definite height advantage and will probably be able to shoot over the top if he wants to. And Jones goes all the way to the basket, picks up a rebound off fingers and lays up with the left hand to take it 2 points. So it's 57-56 in favour of the 36ers. As Michael Mccoy, there is that man again, picks up a loose ball. A good effort, Michael Mccoy, coming in cold after the half-time break.
Yeah, Mike likes to mix it around. He's a big boy. He's only 20 years age, but he's a tough player. He was the Rookie of the Year last year. Pearce misses. Davis fighting. Senstock grabs the rebound. Slapped by Davis. Foul call.
Another foul on Mark Davis.
Yes, and that's a bit of trouble for the 30. Slaps the ball out of Senstock's hands, and the referees from Victoria are well known for that. They pick those fouls up all the time. Not too many of the other states' referees do that, Lynn.
No, they like to call the hands fouls. If there's any suggestion of an arm going out, they'll call the hands fouls, but they're more inclined to let the body work go underneath the basket. Great defense by the 36ers as Raymond Wood comes away with the ball, and the 36ers look a whole lot better in this last 2 quarters than they did the first time. There's a foul on Leroy Loggins, and don't the crowd love it?
Well, Daryl Pearce throws the ball up to say, and isn't it about time? But it's only the second on Leroy Loggins, and that's really nothing to worry about. He was on 3 in the first half last week and wasn't fouled out of the game just until seconds before extra time.
I think you've only just got to wait another couple of minutes before Leroy starts to turn it on for the crowd here at the Apollo Stadium. There's a foul this time on Larry Senstock
from the foul line.
Davis average from the foul line this season 73%, and he misses from the foul line on that occasion, so it's still 1 point in favour of the West End 36ers as Mark Davis looks up for his second shot and makes it. And Mark Davis is going to look to go one-on-one, I think, with Senstock. You saw that way where he back to the basket, took a couple of dribbles, and he was going to go one-on-one from the time he received the ball.
Gary, I certainly get this horrible feeling in my stomach that we've got a repeat of last week's game on our hands, as again the foul is called, this time on Bill Jones. That's his second. You look at the replay there, Senstock the feint, and as Jones is on the way down, there comes the hand, and I guess there must have been contact there because that's the way the referee called it. So it'll be Larry Senstock at the foul line.
The bonus shot for Larry. That's in. 59 to the Bullets, 58 to the 36ers. And I think, Lynn, if we don't watch it before too long, this game could be decided the way that last week's game was, with players fouling out and the advantage going to the opposing team.
That's right, another shot taken by Michael Mccoy, and that's almost an error there as Calvin Bruton does the unthinkable, throwing the ball back in from defence. And look at that effort from Michael Mccoy. That's the sort of thing that the Sixers need as the crowd screams that Leroy Loggins legged him. But it's the Bullets with the ball as Calvin Bruton fires up a shot from outside and hits. That's a tough shot to make.
Yeah, so all of a sudden it's Brisbane sneaking back into a 3-point lead, but as we were saying, Mike Mccoy doesn't mind mixing it with the best. It's Pearce, though. He's the man that played a great first half for the 36ers. Davis with the shot. It's in and out again. That's the third time that's happened to the home side. And Brisbane looking to open up a 5-point break. No foul call. Should have gone one way or the other, but neither. Radliff scores. 3 points for Brisbane. And all of a sudden, the Brisbane bench is alive. They've shot away to a 6-point lead.
Well, the Bullets have always been a third-quarter basketball team. I think that last 60 seconds could turn out to be the crucial 60 seconds for the game.
And the referees, I honestly believe, are just starting to lose a little bit of control here, Lynn.
Certainly players from both sides are throwing themselves on the ball. Players are going down like 9 pins. And I would think that both coaches would be looking for a timeout. Certainly Coach Ken Cole would look for a timeout. The 36ers offense looking a little bit ragged as Leroy fires up one under pressure. And underneath is Mark Davis with his foul. So Mark Davis now goes, I think, to 4 fouls, and that spells trouble for the 36ers.
Stadium, and it's a 7-point ball game with the Brisbane Bullets leading as a substitution is made by the West End 36ers coach Ken Cole. Mark Davis, the trump card all season, leaves the game. Dwayne Nelson, who's been in pretty fine form himself all year, comes back on. There we see Mark Davis on the bench sitting next to Al Green. 2 fine players to have sitting on the bench, but Davis in terrible foul trouble has 4, and it's Cal Bruton on the foul line. Brisbane Bullets really taking this game away from the 36ers. They lead by 8 points.
That's Calvin Bruton's 22nd point to his personal tally. Takes his team, the Bullets, along to 70. They're leading the 36ers on 62 as Calvin Bruton makes the second. So that's 71. That's 9 points in favour of the Bullets. And Mark Davis leaving with only 13 points at this stage in the game. And that's a very low personal score for a man of his ability.
And I bet you, Gary, if I attempted to read your mind, it would say that you're going to be here till Sunday night.
Well, I've said all week on my radio program on 4BK in Brisbane that I believed that the Brisbane Bullets were unlucky to lose the game last week, and that with the way that they're psyched up for tonight's game, I don't really think there would be too much problem for them. And the first few minutes of the game, I thought, well, it started well for the Bullets, and this third quarter, they've really taken it to the 36ers. But I think the major advantage that the Bullets have is that the 36ers are in foul trouble. There's still 5 minutes and 30 seconds left in this quarter, and every time the 36ers foul, the Bullets will go to the line.
Ray Wood takes the shot. Davis, or rather Nelson, a rebound, nothing called, and it's a Brisbane ball as Ronnie Radley comes down to set it up. Leroy Loggins with it, gives it to Nelson. Brisbane lead by 11. That's going to be real tough for the home side. Now they lead by 13 as Sengstock makes a sitter.
And what a great pass underneath there from Nelson. I mean, that was just a lovely assist. Sengstock made good position without the ball, and Nelson did the rest as the pass goes inside. But it's the defense of the Bullets. They're pulling
like that, click of the fingers. But the Bullets are in control in the third quarter. 4 minutes and 56 seconds left. They lead 75-62.
And Al Green's on the floor. He hasn't been cited very much. He's going to do a job on Bruton as once again Sengstock and the Bullets pull down that defensive rebound, and that's what's doing the job. And Leroy Loggins has effectively cut Daryl Pearce out of the game. He's denying Pearce the ball, and Pearce, of course, was the big threat for the 36ers in that second quarter.
Well, let's see what this man can do. Al Green, he can turn a game around, and that's exactly what this 3,500 strong crowd would like to see as the pass goes in. Agreement again, fantastic hustle from Cal Bruton, and now it's Leapin' Leroy. He'll bop for the shot, but gives across to Nelson. Beautiful pass, deserves 2 points, doesn't get him. Rebound grabbed by Jones. The 36ers need to settle it down. Mike Mccoy, he'll get a foul called on him. No!
Unbelievable call.
And the score counts.
Now that is bad.
That is 2 points to us. Have a look. You see Sengstock stop, and that is a good block by Sengstock, and Mccoy knocks into the ground, and unbelievably for the Adelaide fans, what a benefit of the doubt. The foul is called on Sengstock, but then again, one can say it's justice because I reckon they've missed a few on him, Lynn.
Brian Curl going absolutely crazy on the bench. I have to say that Michael Mccoy was a little bit lucky, I thought, on that occasion, but it's Calvin Bruton that brings the ball away. Gary?
I got to say that's the most atrocious call that I have seen in a long, long time, and that is just not on.
Cal Bruton with the ball for the Bullets, looking to sustain this lead they have, but Mccoy makes the steal. Dunk it, Michael. No, just lays it up. And that's closer now that the 36ers get, but they're still down by 9 points. That's a long way to get back, but there's a lot of basketball left, Lynn.
Ronnie the Rat Radcliffe inside. Bad defense, Michael Mccoy was not looking, but then again, he is guarding Leroy Loggins, and I'd suspect his job is to cut Loggins out of the game and not worry about helping out.
He's done that all right so far.
He's done a good job on Loggins. As Dewine Nelson up from the jump shot from the foul line, it won't drop. Michael Mccoy throws the ball outside. There goes Nelson. That'll be 2 points. No. And the Sixers not shooting with any confidence inside. They were making those in the last few games.
Yes, they certainly were, and all of a sudden things going Brisbane's way as Nelson gets his hand or picked up by Pearce. He'll look for a shot. Pearce had a fantastic second quarter, but as Lynn had said, was well held by Loggins in the third. Nelson misses the third. Mccoy's under there, though, and he puts it away. So the 36ers move to 68, and they trail the Brisbane Bullets on 77.
But what is important here, Andrew, is that the Bullets are showing great defensive skills. The 36ers are throwing up shots that are not going in. The Bullets at the other end are finding the good shot like that from Larry Sandstock, and it's not touching the sides.
Yes, one has to admit that the Bullets are making it look just that little bit easier, Lynn.
Yeah, certainly I agree. The 36ers defence isn't what it should be. They're not really getting up close. There's a hands foul not called as Bill Jones spins, and that once again, Ronnie Radley, and they run into the fast break. So the Bullets are definitely controlling the defensive boards.
Ball called at Adelaide ball. Larry Sandstock doesn't like the call.
And the shooting percentages, Brisbane are shooting 66% from the floor to Adelaide's 38%. So Adelaide very inconsistent with their shooting percentages from the floor.
9 points the difference. 2 minutes and 6 seconds to go in this third quarter. Pierce puts up the long shot. Looks good, is good. Now the game is only 6 points the difference.
29 points to Daryl Pierce.
29 points, an amazing player.
Radcliffe with the ball, gives off to Sandstock, played a great captain's game. Leroy Loggins looks for the foul. Not forthcoming, but he has the ball now. There was one in there. No basket called, and I've got no idea.
What great defence, Michael Mccoy. Look at this, posts up, Loggins receives the ball, spins, good defence, Michael Mccoy. He leant in, and I think there was probably a little bit of Chris Mcgaw in that defensive movement, Gary. As soon as Loggins leant in, Mccoy fell to the floor. The referee had no hesitation in calling the charge.
Well, once again, that should not have been a charging foul. That should have been 2 points. Leroy to the line and another foul for the 36ers.
Well, Mike Mccoy hit the ground pretty hard. Man, Al Green, who can lift the 36ers. Bullet-like pass into Nelson. Jones under there. Oh, what was that? No call made. Crowd hates it. Loggins will go to drive all the way. There's plenty of fouls.
Oh, come on, referee, lift your game.
And all of a sudden, again, we're seeing these two referees starting to wonder what's going on there. There's a lot of tough stuff. Now, Loggins there goes with the shot. Can't be no score because the ball didn't go in. But there was a foul called on the 36ers. I'm not sure who it was called on.
And on top of all that, the 36ers almost ripped the ring off the backboard.
It'll be Leroy Loggins at the foul line. And Lynn, I'm really starting to feel that these umpires have to do something.
Well, certainly, I think the referees are doing a pretty fair job when all things are considered. One of the things I don't like is the piddly little hands fouls that are being called, and a lot of the pushing and shoving that should be called is not being called. It's the hands fouls that frustrate players, but what a fantastic pace this game's been played at.
Leroy Loggins on the foul line. The Bullets lead by 8 points. They lead by 9 now. They're on 80 points. The West End 36ers are on 71. There's only a minute and a half to go in this third quarter. Al Green with the ball. The 36ers have a lot of work to do if they want to get back into this game. It's Pierce looking to get the ball out. Comes right out to Bill Jones again at the top of the key. Jones looking to give the ball a foul on Sibley, not called. Mike Mccoy with the ball now. Balks for an awkward looking shot. Rebound pulled by Brisbane. Sibley has the ball. Robert Sibley, not a good game last week, done a fair job tonight. Now it's Ronnie Radley. That little flick pass across to Bruton and he'll score. And Adelaide at this stage are in deep trouble. They're 11 points down, would have to play an outstanding last quarter to get out of this, Lynn.
Certainly the 36ers defence isn't anywhere near what it should be. The Brisbane team's offence looking really good. They're hitting some good baskets. And underneath is the charge foul has been called, and a lot of frustration from the 36ers.
Yes, and you see the pass come in here to Bill Jones. He dummies, then goes, but it's not the player there. It's Bruton there, gets position, and Jones knocks him down, and that's where the foul was called.
It's another foul on Jones. He's on 3 fouls.
So 30 seconds to go to a three-quarter time. Let's see if Brisbane can increase this lead to 13 points.
Well, if
Sibley.
they do, that unlucky 13 for Adelaide may come true again.
Bruton, Sibley, Radcliffe, 18 seconds. Radcliffe still, gives it to Sibley. No, Pierce, pressure. Nothing, the foul is called on Ronnie Radcliffe. He shakes his head and says, I don't believe it. Tim Cole says, well, about our time. And now the 36ers will take the ball from the side. There's 12 seconds to go in this third quarter, and they will want one shot. Now, if they make the basket, if it's a three-pointer, it'll put them 8 points down at the three-quarter time mark. But they lose it immediately. A bad pass, Bruton from the three-point line, makes it. And it is going to be oh so difficult for the 36ers to get back. Leroy Loggins is steal. He couldn't possibly make it. The siren goes for three-quarter time, and Brisbane look like they could pull off one of the upsets of the century by forcing this game into a third playoff on Sunday. It's three-quarter time. The score is 85 to Brisbane, 71 to the West End 36ers. We'll be back after the break. Bad news for the Adelaide viewers. It's great news for the Brisbane viewers in this second Wang National Basketball League final. At three-quarter time, the Brisbane Bullets lead, 85 to 71. Mark Davis on 4 fouls and back on the court for the 36ers. Lynn, can the 36ers get out of it?
Well, they're going to have to do a lot more than they did in that third quarter, which certainly belonged to Brisbane. They hit 80% from the floor. The 36ers only hit 40% from the floor. And this crowd here, they're a lot better in offense.
Well, Gary, as you said before the game, Brisbane had nothing to lose tonight. They've gone for it, and they find themselves 14 points up.
I've always said that the Bullets are a great basketball team when they're motivated to win. And up until tonight, I really don't think that motivation has been there. They know, as you just said, Andrew, that they've got to win tonight. And I think that the psychological advantage is with them, because the 36ers know that even if they lose tonight, they've still got another opportunity on Sunday.
Well, Brisbane starting to really look the goods out here. There was absolutely no defence on Cal Bruton here. Shot made by Pierce. Jones, the rebound, still no fouls. Mike Mccoy slips at the crucial moment. Pierce should pick it up. Loggins, the worst foul we've seen tonight, and it's called on who?
No, it's just a ball at the side to the Brisbane Bullets.
Well, Loggins really put the elbow in, but it wasn't called. And in fact, it was a Brisbane ball. And now that ball is hit out of 57 to 71.
And Calvin Bruton, an outstanding game to date for the Bullets. He's hit 33 points. As the Bullets throw the ball around, they've been a lot more disciplined, a lot more control in their offensive movement. And there's an outside shot that goes up there from Robert Sibley. And Mark Davis, with 4 fouls, brings the ball down. Al Green hasn't really been the explosive player that we've seen so far tonight, with only 2 points for the game.
And that's it for Mark Davis. He's had a foul called him. He's out of the ball game.
Goodbye, Marco.
Robert Sibley shakes the hands of his teammates on the bench as Mark Davis, a very sad and sorry-looking Mark Davis, makes his way to the bench. Most people here in this capacity house at Apollo Stadium are still wondering what the foul was for. The Brisbane bench would be beside themselves with glee. It was made. Dwayne Nelson is on the boards. And again, it's Cal Bruton, and he really has had a super game. And Brisbane, well, there's almost no doubt about here. No doubt about it now. They'll be playing the Adelaide 36ers on Sunday again. And we're back to where we started from. Whoever wins on Sunday, it looks at this stage, will be the National Basketball League champions. Strong rebound from Sibley. Leroy, lovely pass to Bruton. Nice and balanced, an easy basket. And Brisbane are really starting to run now. They're pouring it on. They lead by 20 points, Lynn, and there's no way Adelaide can get out of this.
No, I can't see it at this stage. There's still a lot of basketball left. They're really going to have to do something to get out of this game. But a lot of frustration coming out now as Michael Mccoy picks up his 3rd foul. And Calvin Bruton.
What a game from Cal Bruton. Gee, and they didn't even start him. They say that he does his best work when he comes off the bench. Well, hasn't he proved that correct? 37 points, that's unbelievable.
He's only been averaging 14 points for the rest of the season, and he's come out tonight and scored 14. Loggins loomed as the threat. Well, Loggins has certainly put in a very serviceable game, but one of the best things that he's done is to cut Daryl Pierce out of the game, apart from that explosive second quarter.
I've been sitting here for the last 2 minutes. My mouth is open. I just don't know what to say. The Brisbane Bullets have certainly shown them all what it's all about. And yet again, the 36ers throw up an undisciplined hope shot. And as a consequence, the Bullets come away with the ball. For the viewers in TVO in Brisbane who are watching this, I'm sure they'll be just so impressed.
Everything going right for Brisbane now. It's Robert Sibley, off to the man who has caused so much trouble. Loggins pushes Pierce out the way, and the referee shuts his eyes. Bruton now with the shot. What a fantastic basket from Cal Bruton. And after lifting his side last week in a great second half that almost got Brisbane out of it, not quite, he's really led the way tonight. 39 points. The ball with Bill Jones. No foul called, makes the shot. Yes, finally, some of these fans say a foul is called. It's called on Chris Mcgaw.
There's the pass that goes inside. Jones spins. There's a push, not called, up. And there's the hands foul that's called. And they're the things that have really been upsetting the 36.
Closer than this. Tell you what, your 15-point win to the 36 is not looking too hot, Andrew.
No, it's looking average, but we like to make things even in Adelaide, and we'll see you on Sunday. Lynn, it really has been a fairly disappointing performance by the 36ers so far, but you can't take anything away from Brisbane. They've just been too good so far.
I have to say the Brisbane defence has been something out of the bag. They've really come out and hustled. They've forced a lot of errors. The 36ers haven't been able to get the ball inside. Jones and Davis particularly have really been unsighted. In fact, they haven't gone anywhere near what we've expected. And Davis has blessed the floor with only 13 points. And usually Davis is able to hit 26 points, which has been his average, and we see yet another turnover. A lot of undisciplined shots, very uncharacteristic 36ers team on the floor tonight.
Bruton looking to drive all the way. One hand. No basket tending called. Good rebound from Dwayne Nelson, or rather block. Pearce attempts it, misses. The ball should come out to Ally. Comes out to Bill Jones. But Lynn, as I was going to ask, you've played enough basketball at this level. Can the 36ers, shocking foul called on Chris Mcgaw, and that's really ridiculous. And the Brisbane bench starting to make themselves look a little silly. They don't need to carry on like that. They can do it up in Brisbane. That it doesn't really please the crowd much here at Apollo. They're leading well enough.
I think in Chris Mcgraw's defence there, Andrew, that the Bullets, how much is at stake there? And Chris Mcgaw, who's one of the world's nice guys, I don't think he'd ever deliberately set out to
this crowd hasn't given up yet. Their team is down by 23 after Ray Wood just made that basket. And there's 7.5 minutes to go. Can we expect a miracle, Lynn?
The only way that these 36ers can get out of this game, and that's a good call. That is a good call. It's a foul on Calvin Bruton for blocking, and full marks to David something. And David Spear, Raymond Wood are very good defensive players, but then again, Calvin Bruton, he can just bring the ball down the floor whenever he likes.
A foul missed there on Cal Bruton, put the hand in Wood's face, and I'm sure there was contact. Peter Ally with the ball. The 36ers retain possession. They'll set it up again. Long pass into Jones. Can he go all the way? Misses the shot. Nelson, huge rebound over Leroy Loggins. And wow, Loggins had the ball and Nelson went straight over the top. Have a look at this. The shot comes up from Jones. He misses. Leroy, there goes Nelson right over the top, over the shoulder of Leroy. Good call again. In fact, it wasn't Leroy, I beg your pardon. It was Cal Bruton. No wonder he got up so high.
We won't call a charging over the shoulder call there, Andrew.
I might have, but the refs...
We won't call it tunnelling underneath either, Gary.
Wouldn't dream of doing that.
I think we beg to differ up here. The umpires have control. Yep. Foul called. Who's it called on? On Cal Bruton, by the looks of it.
An intentional foul.
An intentional foul. I reckon a touch of headbutting, but I'd like to see it in replay if it's possible.
Couldn't see anything from here, Andrew. But
Cal Bruton
it's Dewine Nelson on the foul line, and the 36ers in a lot of trouble.
Well, it really doesn't matter what Cal Bruton does now, because he has just about won this game for Brisbane, scoring something like 40 points. Jones, Nelson on the foul line, hasn't given up. Brings it back to a 20-point ball game. And we've seen some outstanding things here in the past, Lynn, but it would have to be absolutely sensational. Can it be 19? It's 19 points. It's 19 points. It remains on 19. I'm trying to help them out by counting them down. It's been a fabulous game of basketball, and the Brisbane Bullets really have to take the honours.
Yes, they do. As I keep saying, it's the defensive effort, and we see it again. If they're going to hang on, the referees don't call fouls. As David Spear shoots from outside, shooting percentage has been well down for the 36ers, and that is because of the fine defensive effort put out by the Brisbane Bullets.
So just over 6.5 minutes to go. The Brisbane Bullets are on 96. They have a 19-point break. They lead Adelaide, who are on 77. Leroy Loggins with the ball. Amazing that he can have such a quiet game and still see Brisbane that far in front. Rebound by Jones. David Spear. Take him on, son, the crowd roars. And Spear will drive, misses.
He perhaps would have been better off to set that up, I think.
Well, the 36ers have to do things and do them in a hurry if they're going to get out of this, because we're down to just about 6 minutes to go.
Well, the Bullets are doing well. Larry Senstock is on the bench. Dave Nelson is on the bench. At the beginning of the game, Lynn, you were commenting on John Dortch and how you didn't think that he's had all that great a season. He set out for most of this game. he really just hasn't had any effect on this game at all tonight.
No, but Chris Mcgaw, Robert Sibley have done a lot of muscle work underneath the basket. I have to say that the Bullets have done a lot better on the boards than I thought they'd do. And by the same token, the 36ers underneath haven't done anywhere near as well as they normally do. And that's another classic example with just the fighting effort of Sibley and Mcgaw underneath for the foul.
4 minutes and 56 seconds to go, and Brisbane will force this final series into a playoff game on Sunday. We'll be back where we started from. It'll be 1-1. The 36ers have won one game, and there's nothing sure that Brisbane will win this game. They're on 98, leading the 36ers on 77. Brisbane just playing around with the ball now, taking their time, just having a bit of shooting practice, but a steal made by Peter Aioli. He has Ray Wood. It's 2-on-3. Wood drives, gives it to Nelson. Travel call or foul? No, travel first before the foul. Travel on Dwayne Nelson.
And there goes Raymond Wood. Little shuffle there underneath, a handoff, and there's the shuffle. Obvious travel called there. But who would have thought that the 36ers, after winning 20 consecutive home games, come into their 21st game here at Apollo and are absolutely thrashed by this magnificent Brisbane.
They have some strange people in Brisbane, but you have to give credit where it's due. The Bullets have played superbly tonight, both defensively and offensively. And the man with the ball at the moment, Cal Bruton, hasn't he showed the way? And he's still doing it. That's over 40 points for Cal Bruton. He's not very tall, but gee, he's good. Awesome. He's classy. Whilst Leroy Loggins has had a pretty quiet game, it's just taken their other import, Cal Bruton, to do the damage on this 36ers side. Let's hope, though, Lynn, do you think they can regroup for Sunday?
I think there's a few things that the 36ers have to look at. Firstly, they're going to have to block out under the defensive boards instead of trying to compete. They're going to have to block the Brisbane big guys away from the board so they'll then start to take control. I think Coach Ken Cole's got to have a good look at the 36ers offence, because when they shut down Daryl Pearce on his right-hand side, the 36ers just bogged down and they just don't have that offensive movement that they need.
Well, Brisbane doing as they please as Dave Nelson scores again. Whilst nothing's going right for the 36ers and they're missing layups, everything's going right for Brisbane. Tap-in attempted by Aioli. Pearce has the ball. No foul called. Aioli again. One foul, two fouls. They finally called one. And I suppose it's not bad umpiring, Lynn. They're just letting it go because there's nothing really to achieve by starting calling a lot of fouls now.
Basket.
I agree, Lynn. It's one of those things that sort of happens as the game develops, and if the refs don't watch it, it can get out of hand very quickly. But isn't it amazing that when a team gets a roll on, that they just carry it on?
There's Brian Curl just playing with Adelaide now. He's brought Tom Gerhardt on and John Dortch and Danny Morsu, guys who normally wouldn't get a lot of court time, but they have nothing to lose because they're going to win this game and win it so easily. As the 36ers take yet another rebound, but they're just not converting. They've been shooting very poorly. Ray Wood has a look but decides to come back out and set it up. The 36ers bench very quiet now. Jones turns around for the shot, makes one, but it's been a long time in between baskets in this last quarter, Gary.
Yeah, and I think that Ken Cole, as you said before, has got a lot of work to do before Sunday, because psychologically the advantage now rests with the Brisbane Bullets. They have shown the 36ers that they can mix it inside, and they've certainly showed it that they can outshoot. Daryl Pearce has just a fearsome reputation in Brisbane, and I think the 12,000 people who were watching the game at Boondall last week expected big things, and they probably thought, oh yeah, well, that's that.
What a fantastic game. 38 points individually to Calvin Bruton, and I'm not really sure what happened then. I think with the shot clock ran down, but it's the 36ers running now into offense. There's only 2 minutes remaining. The score is 102-81, and this is the first time for the season that the 36ers haven't made 100 points, and that's a bit better movement as Daryl Pearce makes another assist. Raymond Wood hasn't given up. He's still pressuring the defense, but this man, Ronnie the Rat Radley, had a lot of control. He's handed off a lot of baskets, and I'm very impressed with the way he plays the game.
Yes, well, this game is so similar to the final in Brisbane last year, where Daryl Pearce was the highest scorer for the 36ers.
And Daryl Pearce has been cut down with that movement to his right hand cut off. And as I said earlier, I really think that the 36ers have to look at that, because when Pearce goes to his left and doesn't get the shot away, then the whole offense bogs down a bit. But still, a good effort from Raymond Wood as another basket missed. And when you're bad, you're bad.
Is there the sort of baskets that Brisbane were missing last week, and it's cost them? Not tonight. Well, they've missed that one, but there was a travel game. Sunday's game will be at 2:15 here, and it should be a beauty. One would expect that the 36ers won't play like this again on Sunday, not when they know what's at stake. Brisbane just too classy an outfit tonight. Only 50 seconds left on the shot clock, and Brisbane lead 102-83.
And Danny Morsu, who took a couple of shots that perhaps he shouldn't have taken last week to give the 36ers a chance, on the floor now, hands off, and in goes Gerhardt all the way. But another great effort under the offensive boards, and Peter Aioli very frustrated there. A hands foul call, shooting 71% from the foul line so far tonight.
John Dortch, been a quiet player for Brisbane, but an effective player. And they're going to take this game by a long shot as Nelson pulls off another rebound. 27 seconds to go, and every one of these fans I can see will be back here on Sunday. Ray Wood pulls off the rebound from the missed Daryl Pearce shot. Nice pass out to Peter Aioli, but the shot is a mile off. Just the 36 is not the same as surety, as Morso should lay this up, passes it back to Gerhardt, and he just pops it in. And Brisbane just go further and further in front. Radley makes another steal. 2 seconds to go. He is knocked to the ground by Pearce. And a pretty nasty foul there by Daryl Pearce. And it'll be 3 shots. But the game is all over, apart from Radcliffe taking the foul shot. Brisbane have walked into the third and final playoff on Sunday with a 104-83 point victory. Lynn, we'll be back after the break with both coaches. The final score, the West End 36ers 83, well beaten by the Brisbane Bullets on 104. Ken, an awesome display by Brisbane. Can the 36ers regroup and be ready for Sunday?
I thought we just played an appalling game.
What did go wrong out there?
We played a bad game. We haven't played a bad one here all year. We really haven't played a bad game all year. We played an appalling game tonight.
The players would obviously hurt a lot right now.
Well, they should. You know, they let themselves down. They let the crowd down. They let everybody down. We beat ourselves with a real lousy game.
Was it that we played so badly or Brisbane played so well?
I think we played lousy.
Well, Ken, all I can say is good luck on Sunday. It's 1-1 now. It's still anybody's go.
We're still in the same situation. You've got to win 2 for the championship. We can't play another one like that.
Good luck on Sunday. Smiling man tonight.
Yeah, it's a little bit different, but it's not over yet, Andrew, and there's still another game on Sunday, and that's what we're looking forward to now.
Well, you said after last week's game that the 36ers weren't invincible, but did you think you could beat them and really humiliate them like that?
I don't think we humiliate them. I never go out there to humiliate any team. We played basketball tonight the way it should be played. Good, tough, strong defence. And we did a job on the boards. We made adjustments to our weaknesses last week, and that's what the game's all about. It's a fascinating game, and we made the necessary adjustments, and we still got to make a couple more adjustments for Sunday.
Carl Bruton, not bad for a player who can come off the bench and play like that.
Well, that's what makes good teams, if you can get that lift from the bench, and Cal did a superb job there.
Brian, we've done 5,000 miles. We've had 2 games, and we're back to where we started from on Sunday. Good luck, that's all I can say.
Yeah, well, like I said, Saturday night we had 2 games to win the championship, and now we've only got 1, and I think it's just great that, like I said today, 2 great teams playing off, and you know, we're enjoying it. It's not good for the coaches' nerves, but when it's all over, we get ready for next year. So you know, let's hope that Sunday's game is a very good spectacle.
Well done, Brian.
Thank you.